You are now listening to the Car Lifestyle Podcast.
With host
Seth Rose from Exotics Rally.
Elizabeth White from It's White Noise.
Car Lifestyle.
Welcome back to the Car Lifestyle Podcast. I am Seth Rose from Exotics Rally, and I'm joined here with my co-host, Elizabeth White from It's White Noise.
Hey, guys.
And we are on location in Pidgeon Forge, Tennessee. We are currently participating in Corsa America Rally 2017, which is the Tail of the Dragon Rally. And we have a special guest today. Our guest is Mr. Glen Smith from Smith Motorsports, or G. Smith Motorsports.
That's correct.
Welcome on the podcast, Glen.
Thank you.
We appreciate you taking some time out of your day. We are also participating today in the Rod Run. What is it called now?
The Grand Rod Run.
The Grand Rod Run in Pidgeon Forge, Tennessee. Now, are you originally from Tennessee?
No, I'm from New Orleans.
From New Orleans, okay.
I actually live in New Orleans.
That's what the heck you doing out here in Pidgeon Forge?
Well, we came up for the Rod Run, which coincidentally is the rally, the Corsa Rally.
Okay.
Prior participating in the Cannonball Run. So we met all these guys. We wound up putting it all together back here.
So it's coming all full circle, and we're all meeting back up here in Tennessee now.
That's right.
Okay, so why don't you tell us a little about yourself and where you started off? You're from New Orleans.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're born and raised?
Yes.
Okay, and tell us a little about yourself and history.
Well, G. Smith Motorsports, excuse me, is actually my brother Gary and myself. And
I guess the letter G works well for you.
There
guys.
you go. It kind of covers all the barriers. But we got started years ago in the motorcycle end. That's where we actually do a lot of our motorsports in, the custom bikes, things of that nature. And we've always had the cars, but we just started participating in the rallies with the Cannonball Run that ran from Massachusetts down through Florida.
So growing up, you started off in motorcycles or
Correct.
Dirt bikes, that type of stuff?
That type of stuff.
And as far as what you were buying, selling, working on, or just riding?
Well, it started out as a hobby. You know, you're just playing with the motorsports end of it, bikes, motor scooters, things of that nature. And it just got to where whatever you built had to be the best in that particular class. So we wound up in the custom world with the V8 choppers, V8 motorcycles, custom Borghetti choppers, a lot of things like that. We have a couple of them here with us.
Yeah, I saw them outside on display.
And then we developed into, we do a lot of the work from the motorsports in the movies now.
Oh, so you got involved in the filmmaking end of and using the motorsports and combined?
That's correct. One of the bikes that we have here was actually Stallone's bike in the Expendables.
Oh, cool.
So that's the bike that he rode in. So we've developed the bikes and the cars for Stallone and Statham and Cage and those guys. And we do a lot of that, and that's how we got into doing more of the marketing in from the motorsports end. So we do that.
So do you currently have any type of dealerships or repair shops or customs shops? Or?
Well, we have the G. Smith Motorsports shop, which is a 47,000 square foot showroom in Louisiana. A little bitty thing.
You should really step up your game a little bit.
Yeah. And then we have the Indian and Slingshot and Aprilia dealerships back home.
Oh, cool. I own a Slingshot.
So
I like that.
We that's how we got into the formal part of it. So we kind of working that in, and then we travel around with the bikes. And a lot of what we do is we sell off of that. So the custom bikes, custom cars, you know, the Ferraris, Lamborghinis, things of that nature. We enjoy all of that, and now we kind of bringing them all together with the rallies, which we enjoy.
Well, a lot of guys that have these custom bikes, I mean, custom bikes, a lot of people don't realize how much they actually cost.
Oh, yeah.
Like a Borghetti is on the upwards of 60 to 70,000, correct?
Right.
So, I mean, you're talking about caliber of getting into the exotic car world end of it.
You bet.
I even heard yesterday that there is a custom bike here that's about 190 grand.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh,
It's a couple cars right there.
Yeah, you're not kidding. So do you find that a lot of your customers or the people that you've built bikes for also venture into the exotic car world?
Oh, yes. It becomes a sports deal, and it's centered around motorsports. So outside of one wheel, if it's two wheels and up, they pretty well get into it. And it's how do you get to the top of your game? So if it's a high-end bike, and she's right, we have a couple Borghettis that in that $150,000 to $190,000 range, strictly because they have Swarovski crystals and they have 14 karat gold on them. And
I didn't think people went that crazy with bikes.
oh yes, yeah.
Super customized.
So I guess the sky's the limit. If
And
they want it, you will build it.
and it's built around that person. So
Right.
the car, same thing with a lot of car guys. You know, you see them up here,
Right, it's custom, individualized. I'm sure you get some
That's right.
celebrity clientele and some
and anything's goes.
athletes.
You know.
Athletes like that stuff,
Right.
all the custom stuff.
You know, interiors, sound systems, things of that nature. It's how wild can you get it? Most of the clients that we deal with, as ourselves, you have to keep raising the bar.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't satisfy yourself with just what we have this year. We got to better it next year, and it keeps going. It takes 2 of these motorsports rigs to carry what my brother and I just bring out to enjoy the rally with.
Right, because right now we're sitting in a pretty big RV. Well, what is this, an RV with a trailer?
It's
Like a toy
actually
hauler,
an
they call it?
83-foot motor coach with Renegade trails, Renegade rig, and then we have the Peterbilt rig behind us, and then we have one other smaller rig that in case we can't fit anything, you know, that's left over, we'll stick it in that.
Just for the heck of it.
I mean, you think people travel with a lot of luggage. They
Yeah.
travel with 3 rigs.
So now how many shows a year do you do?
Well, on the the motorsports division is actually one of 28 companies my brother and I have, so it's not what we actually.
That's not your mainstay. I was
That's
doing a
right.
little research on you, I have to admit.
So we were in the gaming and the film industry, real estate, submarine, and things of that nature. But this, we travel probably 8 or 9 major events a year.
Mm-hmm.
We have a home here in Tennessee. That's why we enjoy it here. So it was all coincidental that all this came about at the same time. And then we had some of the Cannonball guys and gals that we had just met 5 or 6 months ago that were coming in. So, you know, it's pretty neat.
Cool. So you're getting involved in the automotive end now.
That's right.
In what capacity? Is it just collecting cars yourself, or are you going to start getting into buying and selling cars?
Well, we do some of the buying and selling already.
Okay.
And just depending on, you know, just like motorcycles and cars, you have to kind of narrow it down into one area of them because there's plenty of antique cars, custom cars, you know, sports cars.
Right.
We're more in the exotic end of the cars. The Callaway Corvettes we have here today were brought in for the Cannonball Rally because we didn't want to necessarily put all that vinyl and everything on the Astons or the Lamborghinis we have or the Ferraris because we didn't exactly know how it all worked.
Right.
Now we know how it works. We're going to be bringing those too.
So the Cannonball Run was your first car rally.
Correct.
And you do other rallies like Sturgis and motorcycle rallies.
Correct. Sturgis, Daytona, Myrtle Beach, Laconia. It's all the big old motorcycle.
Those are huge. I mean, that draws hundreds of thousands of people.
yeah.
I think
They take over the whole area. It's kind of
Oh
crazy.
yeah, Sturgis is good for on a, you know, if they have a slow season, 450,000 bikes.
Wow.
So we're down here now doing Tail of the Dragon, and Tail of the Dragon is very well known for automotive enthusiasts as well as motorcycle enthusiasts. And then obviously next year we were inspired by them to do Cannonball Run in South Dakota, and we're going to do around where the Sturgis and Mount Rushmore
cool.
is as well.
That's awesome. So you're going to be on the next Cannonball?
Oh yeah, we were.
As are we.
I think we registered first and second this time.
So you have number 1 and number 2 cars.
Right.
Cool. And what cars are you going to bring this year?
Well, we're bringing 4.
Okay.
So we'll
Oh,
bring,
1, 2, 3, and 4.
So we'll bring the Callaway Corvettes to do a lot of the exotic vinyl work on, and they're great for traveling the longer distances. You have a little more room, things of that nature. Then we'll have the Lamborghinis load in one trailer, and we'll swap out about halfway through.
What kind of Lambos you bringing?
The Aventadors.
Oh, you have 2 of them?
Yes.
Excellent. What else do you have in your stable?
The Vanquish, Aston Martin, the Bentleys, Bentley Mulsannes, and the Flying Spurs, which is basically our business cars.
Okay.
You know, you can stretch out and relax in those things.
Sure.
Cross country in a Mulsanne, you wouldn't even know you're going anywhere.
Right.
But
Just floats.
so you know, and then the American-made cars, and then we have some custom cars and everything.
And where do you keep them all? You keep them back in New Orleans?
Right.
Cool. So so you're saying you're involved in other businesses. You mentioned marine.
Right. Hydraulic dredging. That's where we started off. Our company is just made 51 years old last year.
Wow. Congrats.
The base operations. It was my father, my dad, and my brother and I. He passed away in 2011, so it's my brother and I now. We have 118 employees and all kind of other, you know, stuff that is work related. And
So
this is where we enjoy what we do.
Most of the work is done down in the South, or?
In the Gulf South, and then we do some work up in D.C., and we get occasionally out in L.A. because of the film industry. So we work with that stuff. You know, mentioning the tail up here, the Tail of the Dragon, it's rated as the second top ride in the country.
Right.
You know, out of the top 100. So it's pretty phenomenal ride if you've never been on it.
I've been on it once before. We didn't make it out there today. What do you prefer to do it on a bike, or do you prefer bikes or cars?
Or both. It just depends on the weather and how we're feeling. And, we have clients up here with us. That's part of our marketing arrangement. We bring clients from our other businesses that participate in the motor industry. And this is how we entertain them. So we don't play golf, things of that nature. We treat them through the motorsports end.
Tail of the Dragon is really popular with car rallies, obviously. We're here with Corsa. They did it last year. Gold Rush Rally did it. Cannonball Rally did it. Murder City Rally did it. Everyone does it.
So you participated in Cannonball Run, as you said before. What did you like mostly about Cannonball?
Well, I tell you, it was the first time we did it, so we had really no expectations of what to think. But as we started working through it, to see the amount of work that these guys put together to make this thing happen, key things was the riding was great, especially starting up in the Massachusetts area, coming down through all the way into Florida. So that was really nice. And with these type of cars and everything, you get out on an open road, some interstate, but a lot of backwoods riding where the roads are great. You really appreciate the machinery. And then the expertise that they had in taking care of their clients, the people that were involved in it.
So it was first class all the way?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the resorts that we stayed in, you didn't touch your luggage. I mean, they did a phenomenal job.
Good.
I rode with them riding through West Virginia and the hills going into the Greenbrier. That was really fun. Like, we just kind of, it was more of a Sunday drive in because it was windy and the sun was setting. It was very beautiful.
Cool.
And, when you're going across the country, it's kind of, you don't know where you're going next.
Right.
Type mindset.
Yeah, everything's a bit of a mystery. I like going to different areas, and these are roads that you wouldn't necessarily ever think of driving on unless you were being told and pointed in that direction, more or less.
Well, and it's amazing the amount of work that these guys, after working with them for the last 7-8 months, the amount of work that it took to go out and find all these locations. I mean,
there's a lot of logistics behind it, sure.
Rode the roads and checked out the hotels, and it's a little difficult to find all high-end 5-star resorts and travel from one to the other and make it fall to where you have one every day.
Yeah.
So
it is a chore.
Yeah, I mean, I know Elizabeth's been working on that now for Cannonball too. I've done my own rallies in the past that I've organized, so it is quite a task, and it's nice that you appreciate the effort that goes into it, because a lot of people don't realize how much effort and work goes into a rally, and just to make it all fall into place.
Oh, yeah,
it's very, very difficult to keep everybody happy and for everything to fall into place, and it's a task.
And we've had it's just amazing to see, and we've done some of our own rides like that with our clients. We rode from New Orleans to New Hampshire, things of that nature on motorcycles, and a lot of it is it's all staged, where you're staying at, things of that nature.
What's the longest ride you've done on a motorcycle? 'Cause I don't understand how these guys ride that far.
Well, depending on the bikes that you're talking about, we have the Indian dealerships. So some of these big Indian road bikes, it's kind of like riding in my Bentley with 2 wheels, heated seats, heated grips, drinks, you listen to the radio.
So it's just basically you took off the roof and and the doors and
so
it's got everything
when you
else.
take off across country, it's nice. And to somebody that really enjoys the motorsports end, it's truly a relaxation. And it doesn't really make a difference what they're riding. Excuse me. It's just they enjoy it and they get a lot out of it. We do. When our plane takes off heading this way, when the wheels pick up, the relaxation starts. And it's neat.
That's cool. Do they have a lot of problems, over the road on motorcycle trips? Because we've had, I think 3 breakdowns on Corsa this time.
Already, yeah.
Well, you have to have something.
Something's going to go wrong.
And how you prepare for it is part of the fun.
But I'm sure everybody sticks together, and you got the rigs, so you can pick up bikes and along the way. And
well, in our end of it, we have a tail rig that follows these 2 rigs, and that's their job. They carry the safety equipment, things of that nature. In cars, it's a little bit more difficult, and I can only imagine what the guys did with the Cannonball. You figure you have all types of cars, all size tires, so it isn't like you can bring 2 or 3 tires that fit everybody, all that kind of stuff. You're riding in country roads somewhere. I think this year, Brian Sullivan's Aventador had a flat.
Yeah.
But he breaks down every single rally. I've known him for about 10 years now.
Oh, yeah?
And every rally he goes on, something happens.
Well,
the
he
poor
was
guy's
like-
got bad
It's
luck.
part of the charm.
Yeah.
He was literally in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, he had
with
no
a flat on
reception.
an Aventador. And it was a little bit of a challenge. But
We were in West Virginia. No cell phone service.
I think he knocked on somebody's door,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
He had to use a landline. Couldn't get a hold of anybody. It was
that's
crazy.
tough when you're stepping back and you have to use the landline.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you really.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know
one
if
step
I'd
away
answer
from,
my
like,
door.
smoke
I'd
signals.
be scared.
It's like one step away from lighting a fire for like smoke signals.
Especially somebody dressed like Brian in the
Yes,
middle of the night.
yes, yes. Liberace in the middle of the. Sorry,
No.
Brian.
He's a nice guy. He kind
Brian's
of
a great
sets the
guy.
bar for some of this stuff. We
Yeah. Brian was my actual. I met him a long time ago. He was actually my divorce attorney. And I got him
well, I
started
have
in
his
a lot of
card,
ways.
and you can look at his card and see he's a little on the flashy side.
Yeah.
You know, to go around the card and all that other stuff like that. It really works out well. But you know, it's amazing in the motorsports industry, you can get, should I say, a little gaudy, and it's acceptable.
Right.
Whereas if I wore these watches and rings and all this stuff that I wear to do all this stuff in my business and went see one of my bankers, they would think I was
Something going on.
Yeah, the issue. If I just sell some of the jewelry, I wouldn't need the loan.
Yeah, you're not banging on all cylinders.
But so we're excited about your designs for next year because
Oh,
you
yeah.
were saying that Brian's going down.
Yeah, it sounds like you're planning something big.
Well, I think Brian is the type of guy that really sets the bar for people. And in our case, if you like, you know, to give you an idea, we did that ride from New Orleans to Laconia. And it was a 50th anniversary for the company, so it was a great excuse to have a ride. Well, you know, if you're going to have a ride, we design clothes and stuff. We have our apparel line that comes out for the G. Smith Motorsports in every year. So we have 15, 16, 17 different shirts, all this kind of stuff. Well, when we met Brian, he was kind of doing the same thing. So it was, you know, we were on the
Teetering
same
back
level.
and forth, yeah.
And then we did a ring for my brother and I when we did this 50th anniversary ride, and it was given to us with the governor of New Hampshire up when we got to the Naswa Resort, which was our in location.
Right.
Well, the rings are about the size of your watch, so you know they that big. Well, when we showed up with the wild-looking sport coats, the rings, the watches, and Brian was there, it just made for like a perfect. You know, you had more jewelry on 3 guys' hands than you would have on 30 people, you know? So it's like the little thing, and you can do it in this
But
industry.
you're two
without
against
looking at
one.
play.
It's you and your brother.
Well, you know, look, Brian's tough. He I'm sure, and he's very serious about what he does with it. I admire him a lot with his, you know, I mean, he gets into it.
He does.
I don't know him other than the rally, but I can tell you he's serious about it. And don't
He's
think
serious
he
about
just-
it, and he owns it.
Mm-hmm.
He,
Oh, yeah.
You got to dress the part, look the part, match your car.
And, you know, he does it to the detail, and I respect that because of a lot of stuff that we do. But he takes it to the detail that a lot of people don't. You know, when you're looking at clothes and things of that nature, and you're designing clothes and jewelry, and, you know, we have a couple surprises for the Cannonball thing so that, you know, that's how you keep raising that bar. And it helps.
we're going to have to talk because I get the inside scoop on Brian, so I'll help you out.
Well, it's been really enjoyable, and you know, you get a chance to just. And fortunately, we know some people in the industry, like a friend of mine, Steve Soffer, that does the jewelry, and he does it primarily in the bike industry. So you know, it's that kind of big and gaudy, and
You got the skulls.
I mean, you got everything going on there, and it's just, you know, you got to get it on 2 fingers because
The
the ring's too big
flames.
for one.
the
and-
roses.
Yeah. So you just let him loose, and so that's what I got to do. And when we throw in some stuff around the Cannonball, and you know, we're gonna see
Bang.
Well, you've got some time. When is Cannonball this year?
September.
September 2nd, starting in Detroit.
It takes a lot of time though to put together something like that. Though.
Yeah, well, you've already had a head start. I mean,
Yeah.
you've been planning this for a while, so this should be pretty good. So you're going to bring the 2 Aventadors and the 2 Callaways.
Right.
It's quite an arsenal.
Well, you know, it's and it's got to be timed right because you know it's you got to know when to show up with the truck. You know, the other rigs got to show up. So
Are you
Got
going to
it.
have all 4 cars on the track at Road America?
I don't know.
That'd be
Which
cool.
We have the gentleman, Trent Spann, that works with me on handling all our marketing stuff. So I pretty well drive him a little on the insane side about trying to figure out how do we keep raising these boys, But it's enjoyable because the people around it are serious about it. Scott and, Zach and Steve and Jovi and those guys, they focused on it and they want to make it happen. So, look, they're setting the parameters so we can go out there and have fun. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's going to be a pretty big plans that you have. So I look forward to seeing that. It should be pretty cool.
You might have to travel in the rig with us and do a day-to-day.
We can do a rolling podcast.
Oh, no.
I don't mind. I mean,
Daily updates.
I'm not sure what car I'm bringing yet. We haven't really discussed it.
Well, I think there's a manufacturer going to be involved in that one.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
I think that would be a great idea.
Possibly.
We need to, set something up. Have a daily delivery time,
So where are most of your dealerships located? In New Orleans?
In
or?
the Louisiana area. We actually worked the Gulf South.
So you've been there for a long time. You went through the whole Katrina situation and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And
outside of the fatalities, Katrina was the best thing that happened to New Orleans.
As far as for jobs,
it's brand new.
Everything's new, right?
It's brand new.
A lot of construction. It brought a lot of work in. And
when
things like that.
when the U.S. was going through, high unemployment, things
a
like
recession,
that, Louisiana wasn't. Between the Gulf oil spill and the hurricane, it's like spend I don't know how many billions of dollars down there. So, and we were in that business. That's one of our businesses. So we do disaster
recovery. Yeah, because I'm from Long Island, so we just went through it with Hurricane Sandy from 2012. So.
Oh yeah, we worked down. We worked it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did some housing and for a lot of workers and things of that nature that worked off the coast of Jersey.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, I'm still rebuilding my house.
Well, that's part of the marketing that we do. One of the guys that's up here with us now works in the renovation industry, which works for us in the other in that industry. Mm-hmm. So, and he rides motorcycles, so it's all a big,
Yeah, I mean, it always seems, and I've been involved in automotive for a while and doing rallies and things like that, but you always make a lot of great connections, and it just falls into place. A lot of people are in similar businesses that cross over.
Well, if you get it all in sync and there's actually an income somewhere coming in through associated companies or whatever, and you can do this on the marketing. The G. Smith Motorsports has a big philanthropy side that we did a little over 1,400 kids last year in 4 different functions. We have a big one coming up when we get home for Good Friday, which is the G. Smith Prom of Champions, which is a little over 200 terminally ill kids that we put on a full-fledged prom, dresses, they get dresses, awesome. Everything, and, so we kind of combine it all together, and so we finally got it in sync to where the Motorsports Inn actually functions, and with the dealerships involved, there's an income piece, so, and then we have Brian to kind of keep in check,
That's so funny. It reminds me of little kids, 18-year-olds, I guess, would ask me to take them to the prom in the 918.
Really?
Yeah. I got so many requests for that.
That's wild.
That was really funny.
Yeah, Trent, the gentleman that works on marketing, was actually the one that brought it to us. We've done it for 6 years now, and it's pretty it's probably the most heart-wrenching one.
I was going to say, I get old.
Yeah.
I've got kids, so when you have kids, it makes a bit of a difference. You look at things very differently, and we do a lot of stuff with a lot of different charities and things like that. It's heart-wrenching. It's tough.
Well, and it's a red carpet affair. Mm-hmm. So there's red carpet, and it's just like at the Oscars. They're walking in, coming in from the limousine, so they're taking pictures. We have a couple of Saints guys, and my brother and I, that are out there with them, and so they're taking pictures, and that's what the parents see. And but the parents can't come into the prom, so they come into a full-fledged prom, and it's a little gut-wrenching. Last year, one of the little girls that was there passed away the next day.
Oh wow!
But the parents called me and thanked us for putting it on, because the last time they get an opportunity to see their daughter, it was in a gown and she was dressed up, and it was really nice. So it's kind of a full circle thing with the Motorsports Inn with us. That's how we bring it all the way around.
Well, giving back and paying for it. I mean, it all makes sense, And we can only, you can't take it with you. You can only be as successful as as the days ahead of you, and to give back and to make a difference. That's what I always say. If I left my footprint and I made a difference somewhere, that's all that matters.
Well, and that's part of what you have to respect everyone, and even Brian, he's making a difference. And I like picking with Brian because he's like that that one that, of all the people sitting out there that you would compare yourself to say, look, I need to keep raising that bar. Mm-hmm. If I don't raise it to Brian's level, then I'm going to miss,
Yeah, we do a lot of charity stuff back home, and Brian's always been heavily involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
And
he seems to be a nice guy, and he's very serious about all of the stuff that he does. I think he's as serious in his motorsports world as he probably is in his legal world.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's very aggressive, and
if you want to get into a positive nude discussion, Brian can take it to a level that is just, it would be very intriguing.
So since we are down here in Pidgeon Forge, I just want to mention that we even had a charity event this morning, which is great. We had about 100 cars show up for the fire victims.
Yeah.
So.
Which was at a place I'd never been to, Quaker Steak and Lube.
I've been to one before, but never this one. But I think it's really great.
I'm a real city boy, so.
Yeah.
The whole town came out. Well, they're out here anyway for this amazing event that's going on.
It seems like
miles.
the whole state of Tennessee is here.
8 miles
this is the smaller one, too.
Really?
Rod
This
racing.
is the smaller one. The October rally is the big one. General Motors comes down. There's Chevrolets here, all kind of stuff like that. And it's like Mardi Gras in New Orleans, but with cars.
Yeah, Mardi Gras is a little different, but
Yeah.
With cars.
I've been to New Orleans a bunch of times. A lot of the guys that were on a bull run with me some years ago, they're all from New Orleans, and they got a couple of nightclubs and bars that they own, and some other businesses down there. So I actually frequent New Orleans.
Well, it's tough to shock somebody from New Orleans and tell them you're going to come up here and do something that we haven't seen.
Right, yeah, no. New Orleans gets a little crazy.
Yeah. We're going to go down in a couple weeks for Jazz Fest and have a little special surprise for Cannonball Run down there.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yes. I think they're premiering the...
Yep, a
is that
movie
the surprise?
premiere. Well, I don't know if it's so much a surprise.
I guess it's not a surprise now. Huh?
Well, this won't be aired until after.
It probably won't be listed on IMDb until after that, so...
Yeah,
So
cool.
y'all coming down for that?
I don't know. When is it?
I am. It's April...
May.
May.
Okay.
Oops, May.
Somewhere like May 5th, something like that.
I don't know. I got to check my schedule. I'm all over the road.
Well, yeah, because my schedule's really crazy. Next week coming up is the New York International Auto Show. The week after that, I'm going to Helsinki with Steve, and we're going to film for MTV.
Yeah, I'll be racing upstate.
And then the week after that, we will be in New Orleans.
That's hell when it just takes all your time to do this stuff, huh?
It, we're all over the place, and it seems like every weekend is something else. It's really, it's absorbing. We were in Sebring, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, we were everywhere. Amelia Island, Miami, interviewing people, then Sebring.
Yeah, so
Now
it's a lot of fun. We get
Well,
to
we'd
have
sure
fun.
love to show y'all some hospitality if you want to come down. We can do it like not too many people do it.
Yeah, I bet.
I know. I'm excited about it.
That's awesome. So,
And I think we'll be at the Motorsports facility with a function too. So
Oh, cool.
probably a great place to do the premiere and a live podcast and everything.
in that small little shack you have in New
That
Orleans?
little old place we
Oh,
got
wait.
right there.
What was it?
47,000 square feet.
That can only hold maybe, 2 or 3 cars?
Yeah,
Something
just
like
about.
that. We did have to start stacking them. It was getting a little tight.
You got 2 or 3 stacks?
2.
2 stacks.
We haven't figured out the third stack yet.
In New York City, the outdoor parking areas
6.
actually have, up to 6
Yeah.
that you
But
can
don't
park
let
right
my
under.
brother find out that. No, because
No? He'll be ordering it tomorrow.
I'll just take a photo.
But that's what, the dealership where you have all the cars?
Yes.
Is that your own personal collection?
well, it's that, and then the movie bikes are there and vehicles, and then the Indian dealership is there.
Right. So what's your favorite car that you own?
Well, the Aventador would be my favorite as far as exotic sports cars. My Mulsanne Speed would be my favorite as far as luxury cars. The Aston Martin Vanquish I have as far as a comfortable sports car. The Corvettes as far as muscle cars, the Callaways. So what we've done is we've gotten favorite vehicles or bikes
For
in
each
different
purpose.
categories.
Yeah.
Do you
So
have
that-
trucks?
We do have trucks,
Lifted?
not lifted.
No
We
off-roading.
We used to have some super trucks that we dealt with and everything like that, but they just took a lot of space. And, that 47 gets eaten up quick.
Yeah, I bet. Do you do any like outdoor activities in New Orleans?
Well,
I know it's a big state for outdoor activities.
It is. We have a spillway, they call it, the Bonnie Carey Spillway, which is where the water spills from the Mississippi River into Lake Pontchartrain if it ever got too high. It's about 8,000 acres of playground. So, the motorbikes and off-road vehicles, things of that nature. So, yes, that's how we grew up, doing the dirt bikes and off-road stuff. And I have some of my guys that fish. I have some of them that hunt, but I do neither.
No, none of that. You don't go alligator chasing and stuff?
No, that's
Swamp.
So what's the deal with the guys from Duck Dynasty? You know those guys?
I do.
How are they? Is it more show than anything or what? Because I keep hearing...
No. A lot of that is
legit.
them.
Yeah,
a lot of that is them. That's why it's so off the cuff.
Right.
I don't think there's too many scripts. I mean, they give them a little kind of a line to get started and then get out of there.
It's interesting. I watched the show a couple of times. It's always interesting to watch that.
I watched it once. The younger girl was learning how to drive in a parking lot. It was pretty good.
Well, the uncle is the danger.
Yeah, the uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he said, 65, that's just the suggested speed limit.
That's like the alternative laws we have now. No, alternative
Facts.
News, alternative facts.
Alternative news, alternative facts.
That's right.
Fake news.
Are y'all like real or y'all like alternative?
Yeah.
I don't know. What are we considered?
We're real.
Yeah, we're real.
It's all real.
Okay.
It's all real. But yeah, so New Orleans is an interesting place. I mean, I'm sure it was interesting growing up there, and it's one of the best places for food, I tell you.
Well, it is a little difficult to travel away from New Orleans, and then
Try to
we
get
have a
some
couple of guys
comparable,
that travel with us that cook, so that saved us going to Sturgis. So we pipe in, redfish and stuff like that, and ship it all in, and we have a home up in Sturgis. So we've been going like 15 years. Do y'all go to Sturgis?
Zach and I were talking about going to Sturgis this year.
Really?
Yep.
Well,
I've never been. I've never been to any. The only type of bike thing I used to ride myself, but way back when. The only thing I ever did was go in Danbury, Connecticut. They always have a Super Sunday,
Okay.
which I used to go to. But I was more of a sport bike kind of person. I had a Triumph T 595 Daytona, and then I had a Softail Springer, but nothing other than that. Just sport bikes, and now I have a Slingshot, so I stay on 3 wheels.
Well, it's amazing to see the transition of the towns out there. Sturgis is about 6,400 people live there, and I would imagine they pump in a couple 100,000 just in that area, not counting Deadwood, where the rally is going to be this year.
Yes.
Which is a fabulous area for that. Old gaming town.
Wild Bill.
I think the most famous things in Deadwood is where Wild Bill got shot, where the guy ran to that shot him, and where they drug him to when he died.
Yeah. So 3 hot spots.
That's right.
It's all on the same street.
Yeah, that's right.
It's next door.
So which is the biggest one? Is it Laconia or is it Sturgis, would you say?
Well, I would think, according to average numbers, Daytona.
Oh, Daytona, yeah.
is usually the largest, and then Sturgis. Laconia is the oldest. I think they're 92 years old.
Wow.
So Sturgis is in the 70s, and so is Daytona, and then Myrtle Beach is the other one.
Bike week there, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the old 4 rallies, but nowadays you can go to rally basically every weekend if you wanted to. I mean, there's that many of them.
Cars and bikes.
Oh, yeah.
There's a new rally every week.
So they do all that, and then, the top motorcycle rides, the second in the country right here is the Tail of the Dragon, and then Twisted Sister over in west of Austin.
I never heard of that one.
Oh, yeah, it's wild. But, so if you appreciate getting out on the road, you'll like it.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll appreciate a Slingshot. Most of the bikers don't like Slingshots.
Oh, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them out there. In the Sturgis area, ever since Polaris put them out, they're a good vehicle.
Oh, it's great. I love it. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It never breaks. I mean, it's and it's pretty reasonable.
Kind of leave it in the weather. You don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't get to use it much, but
yeah, you like me.
Yeah, I had one of the first ones out by us, and then I own a vinyl wrapping company. We were wrapping a ton of them and modifying a lot of them. There's so many modifications available for them, and at the very beginning there wasn't that much, but now the sky's the limit.
Cool. They did a great job with them.
Yeah, we just got a roof for mine and a bunch of other things just to have fun with.
Yeah, we brought 2 of them up here to leave at our home up here. So, you can kind of sport around while you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're cheap fun.
Oh.
They really are.
It's a lot of vehicle for the price.
It's reliable, and they keep improving them. I think eventually they're going to come out with an automatic, like with a paddle shift or something like that. But
You can't take all the fun away.
yeah, but too many people want it, they'll build it. And that's
Yep.
that's what manufacturers do. But cool. So is there anything else you want to add? You want to give a
Well, I
shout
hope
out?
y'all come down to New Orleans so we can see y'all. And if we working on this premiere, so we have some little surprises we're trying to put together for that. We're just all full of surprises.
That'd be really cool.
Yep.
But we got to talk about other podcasts and stuff like that. We'll talk
Yeah.
about that off air because we got something coming up planned in July, which is pretty big, and it should be interesting.
I'm excited to even walk around here 8 miles worth of rod runners.
We haven't even checked it out yet. We sat in traffic for about an hour.
Yeah, it was about an hour just to go 1.7
miles.
It's amazing. It's a 6-lane boulevard, and it gets chock-a-block full with traffic, But they do it, and you'll see today, the weather's been kind of bad, but you'll see today they actually bring the lawn chairs out, sofas, and put them alongside the boulevard, and they sit there and watch cars
Watching the cars go by?
They take the outside lanes and leave it for the tourists, so they can go by there and look at everything. And basically what they do is all the parking lots are nothing but cars. So you can cut deals, you can make all kind of stuff, show your cars.
So it's a big swap meet.
It is.
That's pretty cool.
And then they have
Yeah, we don't do these things back home by us.
No.
This is definitely not something you'd find in New York. I can tell you that
I should
much.
set it up on Park Avenue, right in front of the apartment. Hello, the Park Avenue Car Show.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work out. That's for sure.
But yeah, y'all need to get out and take a look at everything.
Yeah, we certainly will. Well, again, Glenn, thank you for your time. We appreciate you being on the podcast. Where can everybody find your company? Or is there any type of Instagram or?
Well, the G. Smith Motorsports website,
Okay.
and then Indian of New Orleans. Either one of them can do it, and that'll get us down there. Just send them down to New Orleans. We'll find them.
Yeah. And we can find Elizabeth
I'm
White
Elizabeth, and you can find me at It's White Noise.
I'm Seth Rose at Exotics Rally, and you can find us on all platforms. We're currently on Corsa America Rally, so thank you to Corsa Rally for hosting us, and we will see everybody in the near future.
Car lifestyle.